Okay, welcome back. It's been almost 2 months since our last update, and a lot has happened since then. They finished the foundation, they came and backfilled it, they graded the lot, and as you can see behind me, they've gotten a pretty good start on the framing so far. That's really exciting because you can actually now walk through the house and kind of see what it's going to start to look like. One of the issues I've been dealing with is all the rain that we've had. It's been washing the dirt away and the erosion's starting to get bad. So a couple weeks ago I went out and bought this seed mix and I threw it down all over the property just to try and hold the dirt in place.
That's what he says. I know he got that seed mix at Cabela's and he is trying to attract every deer in the county to our front porch.
Okay, guilty as charged. It is actually a clover rye alfalfa mix, which deer absolutely love. It's a food plot mix. But that being said, I know once the house is done, they're going to come and grade it and replant grass, so they'll plow all that stuff under anyway. So I figured, what the hell, let's have some fun with it this fall. Anyway, let's get to the really exciting stuff and get inside and see what they're doing in there.
Homes today are built to last 100 years or more. In that time, styles will change. Walls will be repainted, kitchens will be remodeled, floors will be redone, windows, doors may be replaced, walls might even be moved. But what doesn't change and shouldn't change is the foundation and framing.
So that's what they call the bones of a house. And if you watch any of the home shows, eventually you'll see them talk about a house having good bones. What they really mean to say by that is that the foundation, the framing were done right the first time. They're square, they're level, and everything's good.
When they're not done right, you can see a whole host of issues, from crumbling mortar and blocks on the foundation, to uneven or sticking doors, cracks in the drywall, uneven floors, wavy drywall, or even kitchen cabinets don't fit right. Just to name a few of the issues you might see if this isn't done right the first time.
All right, well, it's starting to get real. We now have some walls up. But in reality, right now for me, this still looks like a ton of 2x4s and a whole lot of wood. So, very fortunately, I have my wonderful husband who loves to go on and on and on about this. So I'm going to pass this over to Tim the Toolman Taylor to update you on our progress.
So what am I looking for when I'm wandering around out here? There's a couple things. The first one, and the most obvious one, is we're looking to make sure that the walls match the floor plan. After the floor system was completed, the first thing our framer did was to chalk line out all the walls onto the new subfloor. As with all the trades, I've made it a point to come out and talk to them and make sure I can answer any questions that they may have and ensure that they're working from the most recent set of plans. Here you can see Suzette and I were walking the floor plan to make sure there's no surprises later on. Moving a chalk line is a whole lot easier than moving a wall later on.
A couple of Saturdays ago, Skip came out to work on the mantle project with a chainsaw. When I hadn't heard from him in a couple of hours, I stopped by to make sure all limbs were present. I should have guessed Bob the builder wouldn't be able to help himself. The framer was out there working on a Saturday, and I caught Skip working as a junior apprentice on the framing crew.
I had some time to kill, so I figured what the hell. The framer was working alone on a Saturday morning, so I decided to give him a hand. It allowed me not only to talk to him, get to know him a little bit, but it also gave me the side benefit of being able to someday say I built at least a small part of this house with my very own hands.
The next thing I'm doing is just checking how square the corners are. Everything from how the walls are put up, to the corners, the doorways and door frames especially. Getting everything square is such a key process. If you can get it square now, the doors go in easy, the finish goes on, the drywall, the trim, everything just is so much easier down the road if they take the time and make it right. I use a short 2-foot level to check the window openings to make sure that they're good and level. I use my square to make sure that they're square. This one is right on the money. Perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this long 4-foot level that I have, and I'm just going to put it up against the studs. And what I'm looking for is to see if any of the studs are higher or lower than any of the other ones. These are all perfect. What you get if you have a stud that's either sticking out or set back in is you end up with a wave in the drywall there, and cabinets won't fit right, the drywall won't look right, trim won't look right. It's really impossible to fix that after the fact. So I'm looking for it now, and these are all good, but if I happen to find one, I'd put a little piece of tape on it, and I'd mention it to the builder so he could fix that. Lastly, you probably can't see this, but I'm looking for nail gun blowouts, where they've shot a nail and it's come out the other side. That's also going to keep the drywall from going on right, so I'm going to try and find all those now before we get to the next step. The last thing I'm doing is I'm pointing out stuff to the framer that I would just like done. That's just going to make life easier for me down the road. You know, for instance, I know that we're going to mount a TV over the fireplace here at some point. If you've ever tried to mount like a TV bracket or a wall mount or something that you need to find the studs, you know, trying to find the studs in the center of the wall is damn near impossible. You know, it's akin to winning the lottery when you find a stud in the right spot to mount something like that. So what I'm going to have him do is where the TV is going to mount, I'm going to have him put 2x12 blocking back in here. So it'll be basically one giant stud here, so I'll be able to center the mount on the wall. Just things, like I said, to make my life easier down the road as we're moving into the house.
In another couple of weeks, the framing's going to be done, windows and doors are going to be in, and the roof will be on. At that point, the pace is going to really pick up.
Yeah, that's when all the trades will get here. All the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC will all come in to do their rough ends, and from there,
We'll come back and check in with you again.
awesome. See you next time.